Hello and welcome to another episode of the Brody Moore Podcast, Leafs Lounge. Whatever we're doing here, we're just sitting down and chatting. If you're joining us on Spotify, thank you so much. We are over there. Look at I'm doing this live now. I used to edit this. Isn't this fancy? I got live buttons now. You can also subscribe. Look at that. Subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, thank you for joining me over there. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're in the comments, as you guys always are. I appreciate seeing the comments and having discussions with you guys. And get in the Discord. I don't have a visual for that one yet. I'm failing here. Terrible podcast. This is awful. Let's get away from me. Let's get over to our guest. This time, it's going to be Logan Pittman, a.k.a. the Spoods, the Spooder man, Spoodah. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? What's up? Yo,
it's good to have you on, man.
Let's freaking go. Hey, I'm honored to be on, dude. Honored. Thank you for having me.
No, this is fun because I feel like it's not often we get to spotlight more of the personalities in the Rocket League scene, right? Like we get. I've had casters, I've had coaches, and I talked to all these guys on broadcast anyways. I thought it was really fun when I had Asphira on this podcast as well. And I'm
good guy. Yeah,
right.
We love Asphira. Asphira is a cool dude. Yeah, cool ass dude.
And then getting you guys on here is real fun. Just to see, it's a different perspective, right? Because I mean, you guys see this from I guess this world from more like a content perspective or just an engaging with community perspective. And I want to start there. Okay, so for you, it's very unique, I guess. It's like, how did you're just memeing on Twitter? Like, what would you say is like kind of brought you into the spotlight for people?
Honestly, for me, I started streaming in like September 2016 or something, and it was more of something I did for fun because like they didn't even have Discord back then. Like they only had Skype. If you wanted to show your friends the gameplay, you had to like think outside the box, like different things you need to do. So the way I showcase, I hate saying that I played this, but I played League of Legends and I just threw up in my mouth a little bit, just even thinking about it.
Podcast is over. Thank you for joining me, Spoodah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for the podcast. That's all it took.
Those are the toxic dark days. The dark days.
Yeah, that was not optimal, but we did that. And then, I just started tweeting just stuff. And honestly, I can't think of these ideas anymore. I don't know, like, how I thought of them in the first place. But I would just tweet, like, nonsense, like, just at people. I was ruthless, dude. I was rude on the timeline sometimes. I just tweeted, like, everything that was an intrusive thought for me. And then I just, I kept streaming. And I was like, you know what? I should probably start streaming this game, too. So I just, I kind of took off. And now it's a lot cooler, or it was always like the coolest thing ever, but now it's like a lot bigger than I ever could have imagined. So
no kidding.
Very grateful for that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I figure, because it is an interesting thing. I mean, like you now have, I'm assuming that like this streaming and that is like your main income, right? Like this is you can't. No one was in school telling you this. So if you just shit post on Twitter, you can start making money on Twitch. Like no one told you that this is a thing, right? Like, so it's so cool to see that perspective. So it's a, I never expected it to happen thing because who could have? It's
definitely, it's not something you really prepare for, but it's like cool when it happens. So I mean, it's just something that was like fun for me to do, and then just end up being something I do for a while. So I'm very grateful to be able to do it, and it's really fun, and it's a good way for me to unwind and everything, man. I love it. I love it so much.
I can see it in your face too. You do. I mean, like it's really hard. I mean, obviously the streaming that comes with its own. And just being a public persona where people can reach out to you and that it has its own weights to it, right? But it's still at the end of the day, it's something that is very hard to complain that you're able to.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you're doing something that you love to do. It's, I mean, sometimes I usually stream at the same time every day, but honestly, I really like that time. It's like at 11 p.m., like, just like shit hours, basically.
The game hours. Yeah.
I remember you told me I could cuss, and then I was trying to think of a cuss word that wasn't shit, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna say that word. That felt pretty good.
Be free.
I feel so free right now. I feel so powerful after saying that word. I usually, I stream from like 11 to 3 a.m. ish. And that's always been good for me, but it's also good to be like flexible. Like if I wanted to stream early one day, I could do that
Yeah,
shit, or I
yeah.
could, stream later. And yeah, it's just cool to have that flexibility. But I'm so grateful for it.
Have
It's
you have
awesome.
you have you tried like streaming at like significantly different hours? Like, did you notice it affect? Because I find that like mine, like I'm a much smaller streamer than you, but like my numbers fluctuate so much of depending
Oh
on
yeah,
what I'm doing and what time I'm doing it at.
no, definitely. Like I've been so solidified with that time slot. Like even the other day I streamed it was like a tournament, so I wasn't really like engaged
Right.
with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
chat. But usually it's like, maybe I'll average like 450 viewers, but when I
Yeah.
stream early it's like 200 or something. So I definitely do like streaming later. That does like that's also like a solidifying factor as to why I like streaming later because of course, you got more people coming
Hmm.
in and stuff. But yeah, that definitely does happen. Or like when I stream another game too, people of course, a lot of people are there because you're good at Rocket League and they're like, dude, what the hell is like Super Monkey Ball, 2, which is a game I've been playing. And they're
That's some
like,
good shit though.
yeah, I know, and I love it. I love that shit, but it's not for everybody, which I understand. But yeah, the viewers do fluctuate
Yeah.
sometimes for sure. Yeah.
It's hard to. So you mentioned, I want to go back to the mentioning the like you're like, hey, it's hard for you to like come up with like the Twitter shit posts and stuff more like it. I feel like that's something everyone goes through of like, hey, here's this thing we do that we're good at, and then something happens where it becomes hard to do that thing again. I mean, like it happens for me with my videos too. Some days I'm just like, oh my god, I have all the greatest ideas in the world, but I feel like it's farther and fewer in between. Do you feel like that's just an element of getting into a routine? Do you feel like it's an element of a pressure to, I guess, perform, like keep up with like the quality that you were doing before? Like, why do you think that happened?
Dude, I honestly think it is the quality of it, and it's definitely the
Yeah.
results you get to. Like, you'll see the amount of, I mean, I try not to be a big analytics guy. Like, when I
Hmm.
stream, I have my viewer count off, and I like barely, try to look at that
Right.
shit because it'll drive you insane. Like, genuinely, it
Yeah. I don't.
will.
I don't look at mine
And
as much as
yeah, it's
possible.
not, yeah, it's a good thing to gauge like how well you're doing in terms of like, like your quality of uploading. But
Right.
I will end up looking at like my tweets and stuff, and they'll just like they won't bang like they used to or something. Like I'll tweet
Yeah.
something and then it gets like, barely like not even close to where it was. And it's like, yeah, I should probably like not tweet for a while, so I'll take a break after that. It's like a little cool down phase when I
Yeah.
mess up. It's just like, yeah, you can't tweet, dude. I'm like, all right, well, I won't. So yeah, it's definitely like a quality thing for me. But yeah, honestly too, as I got older, I feel like I've been trying to be off like social media as much because I remember I was on Twitter, dude. I would grind it
Right.
like like hundreds of tweets. Like I'm not even like other people have like way more tweets than me, but I was just like replying to everything I
Replies
saw
and
and just
everything.
grinding,
Yeah.
grinding, grinding. But as of now, like I'm trying to like prioritize other things that aren't social
Yeah.
media, which is like dumb to say because it's my job and I know I like should be on it 24/7. But I think another
You
thing
can't
too
burn
that I
out though,
faced was
right?
burnout. Yeah, yeah. But I burned out a little bit too, so I just taking a little break, I guess. I don't know if I'll, come back to the grind days of Twitter,
Uh huh.
but maybe one day we will. But
Yeah.
for now, just chilling.
Yeah. It's hard because like it's anything that you do for fun, then suddenly it becomes your livelihood. The perspective of it changes a little bit, right? And it's hard to
Oh,
it
100%.
it
Yeah.
yeah, it's possible to get yourself back to the mentality of do it for fun, but when you start to see like, hey, I really want, for instance, YouTube. There's very specific ways to capture attention. Like I might want to make a thumbnail that's just a beautiful piece of art. It's gorgeous. It's standalone by itself is a great picture, but it
Yeah.
doesn't give enough information or give enough intrigue that makes people want to click. And now people aren't clicking the video, so I do have to tailor my content to a
Yeah.
certain degree to get people even to watch it, right?
Yeah, dude. There's so much that goes into it. It's crazy. There's a science to it. You really gotta like hone in on it and just, work hard and stuff. And at least for me, I've been doing shorts right now,
Okay.
and I'll chuck shit into the algorithm, and I'll be like, "Hey, is this gonna work out? Is this Twitch clip cool?" And I'll just like edit it or something like
Yeah.
really fast, and then it'll bounce back, and it did like well or something. I'll be like, "Oh, I gotta do that again." And
Yeah.
so like, you know, just kind of like, you know, test the waters a bit. But I definitely, you know, I wish I was more into YouTube too. But I've been doing shorts lately.
Yeah,
That's
shorts
been
is
my
good.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really easy for me to do. So
you could
that's
actually
my cup of tea
you could
lately.
actually make a decent amount of money on shorts as well if they perform well. I mean, I put out a short on a channel. Like again, my stuff's not big, so I put out a thing. My one of my shorts got 1,000 views or something, and it's like it's still made on that, like I don't know, I think like 5 cents. But like in my thought process, a 12-second video making 5 cents with just 1,000 views on a thing that's easy to get a lot of views is honestly like I was surprised that the payout was as significant as it was. Obviously, 5 cents it doesn't mean a lot, but you start getting hundreds of thousands of views to millions of views, that really starts to add up.
I feel like that's how everybody starts out, man. I feel like everybody starts out and they get like, you know, at least for me right now, I'm getting like, you know, numbers like you are, like
Yeah.
thousands of views or something. And it's something that like, you know, it like builds up, and that's how
Hmm.
everybody starts, and they start from like the ground, and you just like try different shit,
You have
and
to,
then you
yeah.
just get the info back, and you're just like, yeah, this really works, and I'm getting, you know, paid pretty well. I think the short, you know, I think they started doing short payments like, I don't know, probably like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, or
Yeah,
it
it's
was probably
recent.
longer than
Yeah,
that.
it was very
Like,
recent. It's
that
within
was,
half the year is when they started,
yeah.
I think.
So everybody got
Was it?
short ass attention spans now. They fucking, at least for me, I scroll past shit all the time.
Yeah,
And TikTok's like one of the, you know, social medias I go on now, and I just, you know, I could probably scroll that shit all day. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah.
like
We,
I'm full addict mode to that shit. So
I,
you gotta learn to tailor to people just like that. That like if you don't do something cool as fuck in the first like 3 seconds,
immediately.
somebody's
Yeah,
clicking off of that shit. Like they ain't gonna stay, and
yep.
so you gotta like really drive the message home right away. Make
Yeah,
sure that people know what's up. Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
it's bad too because even though YouTube is more about long form content, like like not the shorts, but like just YouTube watching YouTube and stuff,
Right.
is generally about long form content. You still have to have. I mean, the way I have to design the intros to my videos is like I have a cut every half a second, right?
Oh yeah, you
There's
got
text on
it.
the screen, there's a new
Yeah.
audio noise, there's a transition, there's something, and you're also trying to tell a story very quickly to get someone hooked immediately. And it's so
Yeah,
that
dude.
TikTok brain audience is still, even in long form content, can be there. Now there are exceptions. I mean, if you're doing like a movie uh, review or something like that, changes because people are there specifically to listen to it. You don't need to capture their attention.
Yeah.
But there's still like in a lot of YouTube videos, it's the Mr. Beastification of things where like that intro needs to be bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, there's always something different happening on the screen like every 2 to 3 seconds,
Yeah.
and you're just like, at least for me, I know I would like drool over it a bit. I like mouth breathe at it. Like I am so content watching the video. I'm like, this shit fucking rocks, dude. And there's like all this different like pop-up shit, and there's
Some
like
pretty
Family
lights.
Guy on the side and Subway Surfer, and you're like, oh my god, fucking dude, you're like so overstimulated. You're like your eyes are gonna like pop out of the socket and shit. You're just like it's just so hard chilling.
That's so funny.
Yeah, shit's good.
Um,
It's fucking
well,
awesome.
I'm curious because again, I don't. While I do obviously have my dopamine suckers, like I scroll Twitter, but I don't use. I don't like. I have Instagram, but I don't use it. I don't have TikTok. I maybe watch one, two, or three shorts on YouTube, and then I'm done. So I'm not always getting those insane levels of dopamine sucking out of me. Like people that use TikTok. Do you ever find I mean, we talk about TikTok on this podcast a lot. Do you find TikTok burns you out a lot? Like if you do it too early in the day, it sounds like a drug. If you do your TikTok too early in the
Dude,
day,
it literally is though. It literally is. But yeah, I do feel that way. I honestly, my mentality, I thrive off being like as busy as I can be.
right?
Like, you know, whether like right now, I just enrolled in this. So I graduated from college in August, but I'm trying to like expand my
Congratulations,
knowledge pool. Thank you very much.
by the way.
Appreciate it. I'm very happy. But yeah, so I'm trying to expand my knowledge pool just while I'm streaming, just to
Right.
like be doing something that's productive. I enrolled in like this coding class, and I've
That's
been,
awesome.
trying to learn how to code and stuff.
That's
So right now
sick,
I'm on
dude.
C sharp, and yeah, dude. So I feel like I feel like I can go on TikTok like first thing in the day though. Like, I stream super late, like I said, like 11
Right,
p.m. to
right.
3 a.m. or something. So I wake up at like noon sometimes, and if I go
Same.
on TikTok and I'm laying in bed until like 1 or 2 p.m., I feel like ass, man. And then you
Yeah.
start getting up and you realize like, I mean, my girlfriend goes to work at like 7 in the morning, and
Oh,
she'll
that's
like
crazy.
be done with through her whole shift by the time I'm like, getting
Getting
up. I'm like,
going. Yeah.
ah, fuck, dude. Like, I really messed up today. I kind of like threw the day away, kind of. So,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
hard because like I think as long as you're being conscious of like there you are limiting some of those bad habits. I think it's fine to to operate on a different time schedule though. I mean, as long as it works out, like as long as you're able to get time with your significant other, you can get your hobbies in, you could be productive. I think it doesn't matter if you wake up at noon or if you wake up at 7 in the morning. People's in circadian rhythms there's people that just operate on a hard different schedule. There's still a lot of research coming out about sleep, and what time people sleep at, but yeah, there are definitive differences. There are people that do not operate well in the morning time at that time of day. So
yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
okay to get up. Just make sure the
yeah,
day is productive when you do get up.
definitely.
Um,
That noon drag is crazy, but
yeah.
we'll hone in on it. I think a good strategy too is putting your phone like away from the
So you
nightstand, so
have
you
to
have to
stand
wake, you
up.
have to stand up to get it. I gotta start doing that. Someone brought that up yesterday while I was
So
streaming. I was like, that we're a great idea.
my problem is that Pixel phones are so good now that they're so helpful and useful that when my alarm goes off, I can just say stop and it stops.
Oh, you cut out for me. I
Oh
don't
yeah, I
know.
said my.
Okay, you're good. You're
Okay,
good.
okay.
Yeah.
My phone, my alarm goes off. I can just say stop and then it stops, so I don't
Oh
have to
my
actually touch
God,
it.
dude, how high tech is that,
Yeah,
man? Oh my
but
God.
I do have it that I talked about this on a previous episode. I do have it now that when my alarm stops, it it activates a bunch of routines. So my blinds automatically open. They're all smart home controlled, and then like my speaker
Damn.
will yell at me, and then it'll text my girlfriend to come wake me up or something, make sure I'm out of bed, rip the sheets off.
No
Yeah,
way. That is so
yeah.
sick.
There's some
What the fuck?
yeah.
Gee,
There's some
that's so cool,
that's
though.
here's an
That
ad for Pixel
technology's
phones. Yeah.
booming. Yeah, big ad for them. Let's go.
I'm
Huge.
not gonna see
Holy
any money
shit.
from any sales though. Uh,
But that's what we grind for, right?
yeah, right. Yeah.
That's why we
One
grind, dude.
day that'll
Yes.
be the dream. Getting
Gotta climb the mountain and
Google
make it work.
sponsorship.
That's crazy.
I want to go back to your college though. What were you in college for?
So, I went to, so I graduated high school, and then a lot of people took a gap year like right out of high school, but
Yeah,
like I
I
remember
went straight
my,
to college too.
yeah, I remember my grandpa. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, taking a gap
Of
year.
course,
I
sometimes it's
support
great.
whatever
Yeah,
people want to do. I think it's a good idea. High school is like a lot, dude. I mean, you
yeah.
could take a break and still go, but my grandpa is reading me a statistic. I don't remember what percentage of people like don't end up going to school and they take a gap year, but it was a high percentage. I was like, okay, you're onto something. So
Right.
I went to community college for a bit, and I was working at Five Guys full time during that time.
Nice.
So I would like work 40 days a week, and then I'd only take like 2 or 3 classes because I had
Okay.
noticed when I took four, I dropped so many classes in community college, man. Like I was busy,
Yeah.
just grinding. And I'm not gonna lie, if I'm being honest with myself, I did prioritize this fucking video game above anything else sometimes when I was supposed
Yeah.
to be studying. Like I could have definitely handled it, I feel like, but my priorities weren't straight. Sometimes they still aren't, but it's okay. We thrive
Rocket
either
League
way. But
specifically was it was an addiction
yeah,
for me as well. It turned into
yeah,
jobs
dude.
for us, but
Yeah. I mean, it worked out in the end, but like at the time, you're like, what the hell am I doing right
yeah.
now? So yeah, I went to community college, and then I ended up graduating. Me and my roommate, yeah, we just moved a little bit closer to, Cal State Fullerton.
Okay.
And then I went there for, 2 or 3 years. And I had met a lot of people that I even like talk to nowadays, even though I'm graduated. But they have like a little Rocket League type club. But the school doesn't really support esports there. So it's more like
Mm.
a Discord with like 5 friends that were just like, hey, what's up? We play Rocket League too. And I just,
Yeah.
I hung out with them like outside of class. We did like study sessions and stuff. And with one of them too, I'm like good homies with. We took 3 classes together in a semester, and that was really helpful for me because,
Hmm.
I'm pretty introverted. So it's like, sometimes it's like
Got you
hard
some
for me to make
social.
homies
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to be like homies with someone,
Uh-huh.
or to like reach out myself to find
Right,
friends.
to
So it
make
was
those opportunities,
everything
yeah.
to me to be able to study and hang out with those guys. But
Hmm.
yeah, that was really cool for me. But yeah, we're finally done, and it was a good journey, and I'm glad I went through it. But definitely, I'm really glad I went through college. You never know what's gonna happen through
Right.
content creation or anything, especially with what's happening right now. Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen, so it's good to have like a backup plan. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to expand my pool a little bit while I'm just chilling if I
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
So
Well,
that's pretty much it.
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, so is it? That's the kind of, this will answer my question ahead of time, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. I mean that. So it sounds like. I mean, you are just looking to make sure you're diversifying your portfolio. Hey, I'm gonna learn some programming in case the streaming stuff doesn't work out. Is that your
Yeah,
pure backup plan? Do you have multiple? Like, if say for instance, I think you'll be fine. But say for instance, Rocket League dies. No one wants to watch you
yeah,
anymore because they only wanted to watch you because Rocket League, and you got no
yeah,
viewers anymore.
yeah.
Is that your one back? Like, is programming your main backup plan? Or are you just still testing the waters for a few things?
Honestly, that's my only backup plan for right now. Now that I think about that happening, though, I definitely should come up with more than one plan because that could be
Hey,
like,
one
oh
backup
shit,
plan is still more than a lot of people have, so that's
Yeah,
that's
that
still
is
good.
good. That is good. But yeah, that's my little plan for now. I'll probably, throw whatever I got into a resume and just shoot that shit somewhere else and say, hey, do you want me or something?
You
I
want
don't
me?
know.
Well, the good thing is that I mean, again,
Yeah.
you have a lot of experience just with the way different social medias work. I mean, like, obviously you use a lot of them, but you've also, I mean, been viewed by a lot of people. I mean, through, whether it's through Twitter, again, whether it's through your shorts, whether it's through Twitch. So you have a lot of, like, there's a lot of knowledge you have there that's usable. I mean, like, even if you ended up being like just a social media manager for some random brand on Twitter or something, right? Like, those are possibilities for you because you can show them, look at my account and look at my impressions. I'm 5,000 times more than you have. Let me do this for you. So you definitely have experience that's usable already.
Yeah, thank you, dude.
Yeah.
That honestly, that would be like a dream. That would be like definitely something I would enjoy more than, working in the
Right. Yeah.
job force. I would be fucking floored doing some dope ass shit for a brand or something like, hey, we're gonna shoot the shit over here today. That'd be fucking
Start getting
awesome,
to
bro. I
battles with
love
Wendy's.
that. Dude, yeah, dude. Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'd rock with that.
I think that's something that, because I mean that's also something you could do while you're doing your other stuff. I mean, it wouldn't even
Right,
hurt
too.
even ahead of time. Like, even that. I mean, we are in a bit of a recession just in general in the world, so hiring might be limited right now in general. But it
Yeah,
might not hurt to
yeah.
start looking out to some brands. You're like, hey, I like this brand. I think they can do better. Something, and just say, hey, are you looking for? See if they have job postings for social media managers. Because there is a brand out there looking for someone right now. It might not be one you want to work with, but there's some out there. So that could be a possibility, another way to diversify your portfolio.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I never even thought about that, being a possibility. That would
That's
be super fun for me to do. I feel like I'd get a kick out of that.
yeah.
Yeah, I like brainstorming and shit, shooting the shit with people. That'd be cool. I'd like that. That'd be
That
sweet.
that's the thing. My dad. One of the big lessons I took from my dad. He's taught a lot to me, but one of them was he always had an entrepreneurship mind. Like, he's like, how can you make money off the thing you're doing? Which
Yeah.
isn't, you don't always want to do. Again, if you're
Oh,
knitting
yeah.
because that
Yeah.
relaxes you, you don't
Yeah.
have to make money off your knitting. You
Yeah.
could, sell them afterwards on Etsy or something, but you don't have to, because then if an order comes in, you're like, I don't feel like knitting today. Now it's not
Yeah.
relaxing. Now you've defeated the purpose. But I think there are ways to look at the skills you already have. You don't always have to fit into a mold that someone else wants you to be. I mean, look at your job you're doing right now. You did this because this was just what you doing you, and now all
Oh,
of a sudden,
literally, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so what you can do even going forward is look at the skills you've inherently developed over doing this as work, and now can I use those skills to create my own job or to fit into a job but do it my way? I mean, like, I look at me, what am I good at? That was hard. I went through like a year of trying to be like looking at myself from an outside perspective and be like, what am I good at? And I could only look at myself and see everything I was bad at. But
Yeah, I feel that too, man. Yeah, kind of put yourself under a microscope.
It's hard.
You nitpick. Yeah, it's really tough.
Because when you say, oh, this is what I'm good at, it also feels like you're saying, oh, but now I have an ego, right? Like
Yeah.
it's really hard. But one of the things I think I'm good at, I guess a good way to phrase it is talking to people, which is why I started doing this.
I think so too. I think you're really good at that too.
Well, thank you for
I
the
think you're a pro
confirmation.
at it. Yeah, you're pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, you're right. So,
Very good.
So I'm like, what can I do that I enjoy and feels very natural to me? I mean, that's why I think casting came very naturally, right? I never thought there was no point in my life I thought I was going to be an esports commentator, right? That just never crossed my mind. Once I started running Smash Bros tournaments, I wanted to do commentary. I never thought it would be a career.
Bros.
Yeah,
Damn,
I used to run Smash Bros Melee tournaments.
That's really fucking cool. Yeah.
But I was
That's
behind the
what's up.
scenes, right? Like I TO'd. I did some stage hosting, so I'm like, hey, but because it was my tournaments, but like,
Yeah.
I wasn't commentating because so when Rocket League came out, I'm like, oh, I know this. Like this game plays like hockey. I played hockey. I can help people learn. And I wasn't the best, but I was pretty good at the game. Above average, and I'm like, okay, I'll help people. So I started talking, but it was just because talking was natural to me.
Right.
And it's like I hate paperwork. That's why I'm not in a career that has me doing paperwork, right?
Oh no, dude, that paperwork fucking sucks. Yeah, we don't like that at all.
But if you walk, like, again, so it's just taking those specific skills, those niches that you have. It's like I think one of my skills, and this is going to sound so useless, one of my skills is very much a management skill.
That's not useless,
but
not at all, bro. That's pretty.
It also
good.
sounds lazy. Of like, I'm very good at getting other people to do work to put together a good vision. I'm good at seeing
that's everything.
the vision.
Yeah,
right?
that's so
It
good.
sounds
That's a
lazy,
really
though,
good
like,
skill. No,
watching
it's
other
like
people do
learning.
work.
It's just learning how to delegate and like make sure that okay, you're useful in this position.
Right.
I feel like if you're bad at management, there's just gonna be people sitting there like, what the hell am I supposed to do? But like when you're good at that skill, you're like able to make people busy and put their time in a certain spot. That's a really good skill to have.
Yeah, it's always just like visions for what a product or an end result should look like has been there.
Right.
It's just always been that hard for me with ADHD, especially to sit down and do some of the tasks myself. So delegating then we can get there, right?
Yeah, right.
But so it's like, okay, I've been thinking, how can I put myself in a position where I can do that? I mean, like, are there things online I could start bringing together a team to create a YouTube channel that I know could pop off because this guy's good at thumbnails, this guy's good at editing, this guy's good at script writing, this guy's got
Let's
PL.
bring them all together and make something beautiful.
So it's like I am currently
sure.
like that is what I'm thinking of is like what can I do to try to utilize those skills. So that my point really is being look at the skills you have that you've developed, and I mean, like, honestly, being getting into programming allows you now to mix and match those skills you have as someone that's good with social media, someone that knows how to live stream and engage in a community and an audience, someone that's got a good sense of humor. Like, now, how do you mix programming with with that? And like, but there might be, and now you have a whole new avenue of like a project you could do or something. So yeah, you got skills, and I think you have a lot of opportunities out there. And it's just now putting them down, like write them down. What can I mix and match? What can I make out of it?
Thank you, dude. Yeah, I'd never have done that before. I've always kind of stuck to one thing, but it would be so fucking dope and to be productive with other things and kind of explore what all the avenues I think I could reach, and I think that's a good point, yeah, I think I should do that too. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, like you're already being proactive on. I love that this is turning into like a guidance counseling session for you. For like,
No,
like
no,
your guidance
man.
counselor.
I need it, bro. I need that shit. I need it, bro.
Yeah,
I need
it shows that you already have like good initiative. Like you're being proactive on learning a new skill to make sure that you're, it's very easy. And we all do it to just, I mean, you could just sit there and just keep streaming. And then if it eventually fails, it fails. Right. Again, I think your streaming stuff's good for a long time. I think you're good.
No. Either way, it's good to be safe. Yeah.
But it's like a lot of people will just sit there, kind of ride that. And that's why we see like, even in the Rocket League scene, we see some pros fall into irrelevancy, but then other ex-pros still be around and relevant to this day. I mean, like, for instance, look at CJ, right? I mean, CJ could have just played the game and then that's it. And but he made sure that his personality shone. He took the opportunities when given to get on desk and talk, try to develop those skills. And now look at him, right? Now he's transferred and converted into the talent side of things, and he's highly respected as a commentator. And it's that initiative to step outside, do something you might be a little uncomfortable with, but being proactive on it that can give you those opportunities, which you're again.
I think being proactive is everything, man. I'm trying to do as much as I can, but there's definitely, I feel like if you put your mind to something, anything, you can achieve it. You just gotta like keep at it, and eventually it'll come to fruition. But that's everything. Sometimes when I'm on TikTok at 1 p.m. right when I wake up, that's not being proactive, but. I think that's that mug you have is insane. What the heck?
It's a cheese drinking out of his mug.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck? I was so confused. I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
And then on this side, it's Gibbs dabbing.
What a great mug, dude.
I love it. I got it a long time because I would always see a Cheese. For anyone that's on Spotify, haha, you suck. You're not seeing this. You have to go watch on YouTube. Chiefs would always have a mug, right? He'd always be sipping his tea on broadcast, and so I just got a screen grab one time of him doing that on the RLCS broadcast.
That's beautiful, dude. That's a good picture. He looks like he's smiling too.
He's probably someone said something funny, and he's like laughing while he's taking a sip.
Dude, that's cool.
One of my favorite mugs.
I was like, oh my god, what is that? I was so confused, man. I'm rocking with that. I like it.
It's maybe I'll put them together as a merch line and start selling them.
Hell yeah, dude. Make that cash. Build the brand.
Build the brand. I was gonna say, in terms of streaming, now you mentioned sometimes you'll play other games. If you could just like, I'm sure Rocket League might still be an answer here, but if you could just play any game you wanted on stream, like, and it be your main, do you have another favorite game that you wish you could stream more and still have like the big numbers?
There are definitely games I wish I could. I would pick Rocket League as my main, like 100%.
Rocket League's still great. I still love Rocket League.
Yeah, I do too. It's just I've been playing it for so long and I've been streaming it for so long. There's like that comfortability feeling, like when I play it, and yeah, no, exactly. It just feels natural to do it. And my stream's really good about Rocket League too. I know just when I stream it, I just chill and I try to like not be toxic to anybody. Dude, it's so easy when you're streaming. I noticed this with so many people, and especially because I watch so much TikTok and people stream on TikTok now and stuff. But people will just like be like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing, teammate?" And it's obviously that the person who's saying that is making the mistakes too. But it's so easy to just sit there and like just flame people for no reason. I always try to be that guy that's like not doing that. I mean, for some people, like it's funny, like AP Slays. I don't know if you know who that is, but this dude will just flame the fuck out of people. But it's really funny.
Yeah, if you have a certain voice like his thing, it can work. But
yeah, but when people are like complaining, I'm like, oh, I used to do that when I was first streaming. I'd watch my VODs back to be able to like, I wanted to say, hey, like, how is the viewer like perceiving my stream? And
then you're cringing at your own stuff because you're like, why am I so angry?
No, literally, dude. And then I kind of have to do a little fix. I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that, dude. It's so cringe, it's unreal. But it's good to watch it, because you learn. I forget what we were talking about. I lost track. I went on a tangent.
Well, I was gonna ask. Well, we can get to.
Oh,
but
game.
I also wanted to tangent off what you just said too.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You
It's
can.
because
That works.
it's really cool that you do your VOD, excuse me, VOD reviews, because Lawler and I used to do that, and I think that's why we got really good and got picked up by the RLCS, because we did this before the RLCS. Is we would just cast VVV community tournaments, and then like we would cast for 6 to 8 hours, and then afterwards for 3 hours skip through and do VOD review. And it really helps you. You're right, as you said, get that perspective from the viewer. What is the viewer seeing? Let me pretend I've never seen this. Watch, and then you're like, ooh, that sounded great. Ooh, that sounded terrible. Ooh, that's cringe. You know, and you can, that's how you fix it. But if you're never reviewing, it's like gameplay too. You got a VOD review. If you're never reviewing,
Exactly.
how do you know
Then you'll
it's-
never know what mistakes you're making, and you need to, I mean, tweak your stuff accordingly and say, hey, like, you know, and I said this part in this broadcast, you know, I didn't really perceive it as good, so I'm gonna, you know, instead of that, I'm gonna say this, and it works out good. So yeah, you definitely definitely.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You guys did VOD reveal too.
Yeah.
The community tournaments. That's sick.
I mean, I still
Does
to
make
this
the
day,
difference.
like if I'm hosting or I have a big segment like at Worlds, I went back and I watched a lot of my segments that I was on Worlds, and the other guys as well, just to see how everyone's what skill levels they're at, what things they're working on, what they're developing, because there's a lot more to just than just talking.
Going on the stream, I mean, it's more. There's way more to it. It's hard to see that when you're watching, but it's like a form of art when you're just like being able to articulate words that fast on the spot and just be able to, you know, freestyle this shit around.
And
so
to do it with other people too is like
with some
have the back and forth, to have the flow, be able to pick up what someone's putting down, but like you know, like
basically, no, that's what's up.
Yeah, no. So it's fun. So yeah, watching myself, I'm like, okay, I had a couple of moments where I'm like, ooh, I need to fix that. That could have been, it was a cool moment, but that could have been cooler if I did that. You know, like I have ADHD, so I move a lot. When I'm standing, I'm constantly moving. Like I don't stop. And I realized in a couple of the shots that would have looked even cooler if I was just stationary, or if I had a bit better posture, rather than moving around or something. And I'm like, okay, I got to fix that, right?
Honestly, every time I watch you, you do great. So
thank you.
You do a great job. But it is good to, you know, kind of look back at what you've done. That definitely helped me.
It's definitely important. But back to what we were saying. So games. Are there any games that you'd say, hey, I wish I could play this on stream and still get the numbers?
Yeah, no, for sure. So I touched on it earlier, but I've been playing Super Monkey Ball 2.
Right.
So,
are you like speedrunning or something, or like why?
I've been speedrunning it. Yeah. So basically, man, I streamed it like probably like 4 or 5 years ago as like a second game to play. And I was learning strategies for it like 4 or 5 years ago. That's awesome. I haven't played it since then. So now I'm coming back to it a little bit. And there's like so many more strategies, and they are fucked, man. Like, so basically they have like pause strats, and you'll have to hold like up and to the right until you hit a certain time, then hold up and to the left. So every time you do it, it's like perfect, because you can't eyeball the milliseconds. You're gonna be able to. Nobody's able to do that. So you have to like pause, and some of them have like 15 like perfect pauses in them.
That's crazy.
And I'm not trying to learn fuck that shit. I'm not trying to learn that shit. I'm good, bro. But there's some where it's like, you know, 3 pause strats. And I've been practicing it. It's been pretty fun, and I think it's a good game for, like, you know, if you've never watched Super Monkey Ball before, it's a very easy to understand game. It's like, okay,
quick,
it's not like super complex. So that's why I like that. Like, I'm playing Final Fantasy 16 in my free time right now, and holy, like, there's like so much to that game, and I feel like if you've never watched it before, you're like, what the fuck is he doing?
To stream it and jump in the middle would not be easy for a viewer.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell? So
I feel like Final Fantasy is one of those games that even if you watched from the beginning, you're still gonna end up confused.
Oh, dude, it's super complex, bro. This is the first one I've ever played.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it's crazy. They also have another one I tried with my girlfriend when we were, like, you know, doing long distance. It's called Final Fantasy 14, and it's kind of like World of Warcraft.
That's an MMO, right?
Where you have all the lights on the bottom. There's like a big tab on the bottom, and it's like a 2-tab thing. and you gotta just stare at that shit, and there's so much to it, and it's like it's pretty fun. I
Oh,
like
for all the
it.
spells and stuff, or like
Yeah,
abilities?
dude,
Yeah, okay.
basically, yeah, because you'll have like 20 spells on the row, and they're all like lighting up to like because you get extra damage if you. There's a
That's
bunch of
crazy.
stuff going on. It makes you mouth breathe and drool out of your mouth a bit, but it's definitely it's cool.
You got to get in flow state.
Yeah, definitely, dude, without a doubt, 100%. That's how it is.
That's great. Okay, I want to ask you some more video game questions because I think it's
I'm
always
with the
cool.
video game
Yeah.
questions.
So
Yeah, I'm a supporter.
I
Let's
asked
do
this
it.
recently, and I think I need to ask this some more guests. I'm always afraid of asking same questions to different guests, but I think it's okay because you get different perspectives.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what your greatest, the coolest thing you've ever done in a video game. Any game.
Mm,
I mean, you're pretty good at Rocket League, so I imagine it might be Rocket League. But like,
no, it definitely is.
what's the coolest
Yeah.
thing you've ever done in a video game?
Um. Well, I'll say two things. The Super Monkey Ball 2 speed run was pretty good. At the time, I think it was like a top 20 score or something. So I'd been like grinding for it for months, and
Yeah.
I finally it is like I went from like I played the game like every day for a couple months, right?
Okay.
So I went from like an hour and 20 minutes to like 35 minutes or something.
Right.
So that was my time was like 35:58 or something. So that was pretty cool. But I feel like the best thing I've ever done was so basically Musty like did this challenge. I don't know if you saw it, but it was like last streamer standing or something.
I think I heard it. I don't think I
And
watched it, but
yeah, it's basically like you had to stay in the same lobby the entire time. It was
Gotcha,
it
okay.
was so like tough, but you had to stay in the lobby, and they had like it's kind of like a Mr. Beast video a little bit. Like they
Right.
had challenges to knock you out, or like they didn't have incentives for you to go out. I thought they were, but they didn't do
Oh,
that.
okay.
But basically, like, hey, we're gonna do this fucking mini game, and if you get last in it, you get knocked out. And I ended up like winning that with tenacity. So that was
Oh,
like
that's awesome.
probably honestly probably the coolest thing I've
That's
done
huge.
while
Yeah, that's
playing the
awesome, dude.
game. That was the proudest achievement of mine. It was so tough. It was so hard.
It's fun because like sometimes people will be like, oh, I did this thing in a single player game that was just really cool, but then like there's something about what you did is like, oh, I was better than everybody else, and that's a really cool thing too, to just be like,
Yeah.
wow, I was the best in this moment, and that's not a lot of
Yeah.
people get to do that, right?
Yeah. No, for sure. I think it's cool too. I was gonna play this Super Monkey Ball 2 card, but I wanted to pull that out too. I wanted to say that I did that, but that was like really cool for sure.
Yeah.
I'm very competitive naturally, so
Right.
like yeah, I just think about like beating people. I don't even think about like the incentives of winning. I'm just like, dude, I need to be better than you right now. I just, I'm gonna keep
This man
grinding.
wakes up in
So,
the morning and thinks about how he's going to destroy all of his enemies.
dude, yeah, I got a, malicious mindset. No, I'm just
He's
kidding.
got the,
But
he's
yeah,
got
we do.
we call it the grind mindset.
Yeah, the grind
The
set. There we
grind set.
go.
He's got.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's
I'm locked
great.
in, baby. Let's go.
That's
We're rocking
good.
with that.
I
Yeah.
have to ask you because when I was in your stream the other day, you were talking about you tried the finals, but you said you didn't really like it.
Oh,
Why is
no,
that?
I've
Because I
actually
am loving it.
I've never played that game before, but
Oh,
I
so you
haven't
just
played
saw
a
it.
shooter in a while. I don't know if that's a game you can play on controller, but bro, I'm not gonna lie to
No.
you. It is. I am like total ass at anything keyboard and mouse related. It
Oh,
is
okay.
like beyond. Like I came from console to play, Rocket League and stuff,
Right.
and oh, dude, I played Counter Strike and Valorant. I couldn't even, I'm the
Not
lowest
good.
rank in both of those games, and it is like hard, bro. Like it's not even like the setup I got or anything. So I got a G Pro wireless, or whatever this is called, and I like,
Yeah.
I was like really focused on it for a while, and it's just I got to a point where I'm like, dude, I just like I can't figure this out. Like I'm just so like I don't know. So I haven't played shooters on computer as a result, but maybe one day I'll check it out. But as for right now, I probably won't end up playing it.
That's
But it does
fair.
look really, really cool, and I think it's a dope ass game. But yeah, I just haven't tried it. But I think it's cool.
Yeah. No. The flow of the game is really cool. I just like games with good movement
Yeah.
in them, and it's really smooth. Right? I mean, like again, I came from Smash Bros. Melee, which is insanely
Oh,
technical and
super
good
movement,
right?
super tech. Yeah, yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
and then into Rocket League, right? So it's like I always love those fast paced things. So the the finals is really cool because it's just the sliding around the. I mean, it's one of the characters that you can like triple jump in the air and stuff. Like you climbing walls.
I like
parkour
that.
is really smooth all over.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah,
that sounds like Apex to me because the Apex movement. I don't know if you ever
Apex,
played Apex,
I love
but
Apex as well.
You can
yes.
you can zoom on people and
I got.
Yeah,
I was practicing the I forget what it was called now, but like the jump slide, so you can keep your speed while like jumping. So you like you can. It's
oh
kinda,
yeah, so you boom boom. Yeah, you do a little. Yeah.
But
like a little.
I tied jump
frog.
to my scroll wheel, so as I'm looking around, I could just I just notch down one every time I hit, and then you just bounce.
That's good though, since you don't have to like press the button. You can just move your index finger like a centimeter and just keep going. Yeah, that's not bad, dude. That's a good little thing you got going.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, but I haven't played Apex in a while though. So, but yeah, it was good movement. Good movement is like what drives me in a game. But like, it's so you do not play any single player because you said because like I'm pretty competitive too. But it's like, and I love playing competitive games, but single player games have still always been on my radar. I always play
dude, yeah.
I mean, you're playing Final Fantasy, you said, right? But
yeah. So, honestly, I really like competitive games and stuff. But I turned 24 this year, so I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to like start kicking it now more, and not like super like. Like even off stream, I used to, like when I was younger, like 17 or 18, you know, I had I had a little bit of time, so I would like just sit here and just hunched over all day, just playing anything. I would sit on my computer for hours, but now I'm trying to like not do that as much because I kind of realize I need to start being more productive. So yeah, that sitting on the couch and gaming is a lot better for me than being at the computer. So I played God of War. I fucking love God of War. Nice. God of War is really good. I don't have an Xbox, so everything's PlayStation. Right. Gran Turismo. I actually a little bit ago bought it's a chair, and I mounted my Logitech wheel on there and pedals, and I'll sit out in the living room and I'll do like sim racing for a bit.
Awesome,
and
dude.
Yeah, and the races will last for up to an hour or something. And I just said I'm trying to be more productive, and I'm talking about doing a race for an hour, which is awesome. But it's all good.
That's productive. That's productive to your keeping your mental right though, because like that's your recharge time,
Yeah, that's definitely. I think so too. Yeah, you definitely need you time. You don't need to be productive. 100. That's a good point you brought up.
Otherwise, you burn out.
Exactly, dude. You gotta switch it up every now and then. But yeah, so I'll play Gran Turismo on that. And that has been like something really fun I do. But yeah, right now I'm playing through Final Fantasy, and I got like a bunch of other games. Like I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, the one after that one. I'm gonna play
after.
Yeah. I'm gonna play that one, and then after that, I'm not quite sure, but we'll figure it out. It's something cool to play.
That's how.
What have you been playing? What single players do you play?
I played all those except great. So I played all the I'm playing Spider-Man 2 right now.
Oh yeah, I heard that one's good. I've seen the videos.
The web swinging is just so fun. I mean, I sometimes I used to just boot up the first Spider-Man game. I've already platinumed it, but I just booted up to swing around sometimes because it's just so fun.
It's so it's a good game. Again, that's another game that you move and you're like technical and stuff. So that's that's everything, man. That's awesome.
Such good movement in it, and I just like feeling fast. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
And I like that too. It's just a little adrenaline rush right on the couch. You're like, fuck yeah. You're nailing all those skill checks. You're like, fuck, I'm running this shit right now. I'm unstoppable, baby.
I just love moving. I love moving. What else was I playing? I gotta get back into Baldur's Gate because I started playing it.
I had that game too, bro. That game is fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
I had 2 hours in that game. I want to play that more. That's such a good game. I like that game a lot.
Yeah, I just a bunch of other stuff came up, and I was traveling for like Worlds and all that stuff around the same time it came out. So it's like I just never had time to like sink a lot of time into it. So I do want to get back to that. I think that's winning Game of the Year, no problem.
Dude, it's a pretty damn good game, dude. Yeah, I like it too.
Also, Hogwarts. I love Hogwarts.
Yeah, dude, that's a good ass game too. I bought that for my girlfriend, and she streamed it for me on Discord, and I was like, awesome. This is fucking dope. Yeah, I like that game
too.
Yeah.
And then
Well made.
my main thing that everyone on the podcast will know is Star Citizen. That's my kind of main
Ooh,
other game.
I've heard of that game, but I don't really know too much about it. But I'll have to look it up.
It's
I've heard a
in
lot of people
alpha,
play
so it's
that.
definitely like still got a lot of bugs, but it's basically they're basically building the Matrix. It's like a universe simulation, but it's it's a space based like MMO, where like there's no skill points. You don't spec anything in, but it's just the gameplay loops are complicated enough that you just have to be good at them.
Oh yeah.
Like knowing cargo routes, mining, and FPS, dogfighting, all this stuff.
No, that is awesome, dude. There's like
Yeah.
a lot of, stuff you got to keep track of, basically.
Yeah,
That's cool.
they
I like that.
if hey, well, I'm here comes the spiel. If you they do free flies every once in a while, so if you want to try it, you can
Yeah,
try it for
dude, I'm
free
not opposed.
for a week.
Shit, that
sometime.
sounds like my type of game.
I can give you the training course. I'm gonna do
Oh,
do
yeah,
it on
dude.
stream too.
That would be pretty sweet. I would not be opposed for the training course.
Okay,
That sounds pretty
when the next free
badass.
fly goes live, it might be in the next like month or something. I'll hit you up. We'll see. You can say no then, but we'll hit you up and see.
No, yeah, it sounds pretty good right now. I say we should go for it. But yeah, I appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
That'd be sweet.
This is going to be an off one. Another thing you mentioned is that do you have a Toyota Camry?
Oh yeah, 2006.
What's your favorite thing about your Toyota Camry? It could be like something specific to that individual car.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite thing about it?
Honestly, with a lot of the new cars, which is cool, but I'm not like the biggest fan of it. They have all these like iPad stuff, and you can like check your heart rhythm from your car or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
My car is very like bare bones, it's very old, and I've been taking good care of it. So I kind of like the older aspect to it. Not that there's
Sure, yeah.
too much going on. Like I bought this thing from Spotify. It was like a limited time thing, but it's called a Spotify car thing. That's really what
Okay.
it's fucking called. I don't know why they called it that. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Anyways,
That's
yeah,
great.
it's a I'm obsessed with music, so I needed that. And that's like the only like, pretty advanced thing I have in there. Otherwise, it's pretty fucking basic. But I like that shit. It's cool.
Sure.
I whip it around, and yeah, I drove a truck before this car,
Oh,
so
okay.
this is definitely like I feel like I can whip
More
it
agile, yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't go fast. I drive like a fucking grandma. Like I go on the slow I'd go on the slow path. Like I do not, I try not to ever speed or even get close. So I'm not whipping it around like I'm going 90 and fucking, I don't do that shit. I just chill. But yeah, it's
Don't-
easier to turn. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, don't let him fool you. Dude's doing donuts around people on the highway. That's what...
Yeah, dude. He goes to vacant Walmart parking lots and goes ham.
What's that? No,
Listen to
what's
this
that
guy.
tire schooling? It's just Spoodah. It's just-
Yeah. Dude, if you're in the sky all the time, it's definitely him.
dude outclassed
Solid camera.
Ken Block. You're the
Yeah,
drift
dude.
king.
Yeah, maybe one day, dude. But we do it on the track, not no
There you
horseplay
go.
on the roads.
Yes.
Do it, yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Okay, a few more questions because I don't want to hold you too much today, but
No, you're totally, you're good. You're
in
good.
terms of music, what's your breadth of music? Do you sit into like one genre? What's your kind of vibes when it comes to tunes?
Yeah, dude. So I started listening to music like a lot, like 2015, 2016. I listened to lo-fi on SoundCloud like way
Okay,
back in the day.
right.
And that's kind of what drove my stream when I first, started streaming too. I'd listen to lo-fi like
Lo-fi is
24/7.
great for streams.
And yeah, definitely. And there's like a time where you could get copyright striked or something, I'm pretty sure.
right, yeah.
So lo-fi was like, it was perfect. Like it was perfect. It worked out. Like
Yep.
I was listening to lo-fi this whole time, and now everyone else was listening to lo-fi too. And it was just like, dude, I felt like cool in that moment. So I was listening to lo-fi. But honestly, now I listen to so many different genres. Listen to like basically everything, like EDM, indie, lo-fi, shoegaze, which is like it's like a fast rock genre.
Okay.
I listen to metal, basically
okay.
everything but country. Like I like heavy metal, I like lo-fi, everything in between I fuck with. But if you play country,
It's so
I don't
funny.
like country.
It's so funny because like I feel like that's so many people's line. It's just like pretty much everything as long as it's not country.
Yeah, no,
I'm the
literally.
same.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I remember my mom, I'd get ready for school and she had Pandora and she would play country on Pandora in the morning and I'd never had the heart to tell her I didn't like it, but I did not like it. I was just not a fan.
That's
It's just
funny. Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
But
there's some good old
yeah.
country. I mean, like again, you look at like your Hank Williams Jr. or just your Hank Williams, and then not Jr. Hank Williams, your Johnny Cashes and stuff, right? It's like
Yeah.
there was heart and soul in a lot of that music, right? It just feels like a lot of the stadium country now is just like it's it's much like a lot of there's some good pop too, but like there's a lot of like pop where it's definitely manufactured. Like you know the people
Yeah.
aren't really putting a lot of soul into, and that's what country was supposed to be about, right? Is
Just like spitting it out, not really like,
yeah, it was a
there's not as
worker
much
genre,
substance
you
in the
know?
words. Yeah. I mean, I think some country is good, but I'm not, I don't like
There's
playing
always
it that often.
always going to be exceptions, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It's just like,
Some good songs out there.
again, I love metal as well, but it's not every metal song is good. It's the same
Oh
way
yeah,
other
you
ways,
definitely
right?
got to be picky with it for sure. Yeah, definitely.
What's
Definitely.
your favorite? Who's your favorite band then?
Right
Or
now,
artist?
there's a couple, man. There's this one band I like right now called Midriff,
Okay.
and I think that's a shoegaze band. I'm pretty sure. I've been listening to a lot of like show rap lately too.
Okay.
There's this other one called Yumi Zuma, which is it's like a low key like indie band thing.
Okay.
I saw them in concert like a month ago, and
Oh yeah.
they just like make really chill music. So I
That's
like
dope.
those guys over there. I also like Deftones, beginning into
Deftones,
Deftones a
nice.
bit.
Okay.
Deftones is good.
Classic.
And basically like everything, just
Yeah.
kind of
So you don't have
circle around.
one band or artist that like has always been above and beyond and connected with you on a level that was more than any other artist?
Oh, so yeah, I do definitely. That was Ginseng for me. That's
Okay.
pretty much the most popular lo-fi artist is Ginseng.
Gotcha. Okay.
That dude, I got so many songs from him on like every playlist I have,
That's awesome.
and they're just like really, it's like waiting room music, but like I really fuck with
Hey,
that. Like I
if it
don't know
connects
why.
with you, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I fuck with so Ginseng probably. That's my guy right there. I had him as number one on my. You get like that Wrapped back for the year. He was my number one for like I don't know, like 3 years, 4 years ago. So he's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I
Cool.
like
Yeah.
him.
No, I was trying to get like a bunch of recommendations right now for people that are listening into their car, and when the podcast ends, they're going to need music to listen to after. So that's why I was asking if you
Yeah,
had any what
yeah,
you were listening to, because now they have some suggestions.
yeah. Honestly, a lot of my playlists, admittedly, are really stale because for me at least, because I listen to them so much. So if you right click a song, like right now, like I'll just like I like a song on Spotify or something, like I'm like, oh, this song's really good. I really like this song. I right click it and then I'll go to song radio and it's just that's how I've been finding music lately. And then there's just a bunch
Right.
of songs just like it. And the Spotify algorithm is really good. It'll like poop out songs to you that are like, just like the song you did the radio on or
Right.
that you
Right.
liked. They're pretty similar. Sometimes it poops out shit too. Like, all right, I fucked up. I'm not doing this song. So yeah, that's how I've been finding music
That's
lately.
cool.
So if any
Yeah.
of you guys, you're not, you don't know what to play, but you like a song, just do that song radio. It's good.
Yeah, I use YouTube Music, and I find
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
a lot of times I'll just see a song on the homepage. It's like, hey, you listened to these things recently, and I'm like, okay, what mood am I in? Just here's all the things I listened to recently. What mood am I
Yeah.
in to listen to? Okay, I'll click that, and I'll just click radio. And
Oh, you listening to Currents? No way, dude.
yeah. I actually just
Oh
started
my
listening to their
God.
recent album.
Yeah, dude,
Sleep.
they're good.
My recommendation to people right now is Sleep Token. If you're not listening to Sleep Token, you're crazy. Listen to
But Sleep Token, I don't want to be crazy. What's
So
Sleep Token?
Sleep Token is they mix elements of like, I mean, they'll go from like metal vocals like screaming to like auto-tuned like pop rap and everything, like the genre, to like kind of like groovy jazzy that like all over the place. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're really good. I think the album they had this year, that just came out this year, is in contention for metal album of the year, in my opinion. That and
Damn.
Periphery's album also.
For sure. I'm dragging that on my head right now.
But Sleep
Just
Token,
checking them out.
that's
Gotcha.
what I'm on the grind for right now. Yeah, check out. I mean, just listen to the album, but like the song, I would say just check out The Summoning to get a good idea.
Okay, bet.
The Summoning by Sleep Token.
I'll jot that down in my memory banks.
All right,
I'll write it down over here. Yeah, for sure.
Everybody, it's listening on the podcast too. Make sure you go listen to the song right after we're done here.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good point to end it. Now everyone can go listen to their music and find some new bands for themselves. I gotta say, dude, thank you for joining me. This was awesome, just hanging out and chatting.
Yeah, dude, I'm honored to be on the podcast. I appreciate you inviting me. I had a pretty good time, and yeah, it was awesome. Thank you, dude.
Pretty good time. Well, then we'll have to make it an amazing time next time.
No, it was. No. I was just being silly. It was an amazing time. Loved it. There's not a word that could describe how awesome it was.
There we go. Okay, that's the save. He's got the save. All right. Sure. Thank you guys so much again for watching. On YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're over, of course, on Spotify, make sure you're getting to the YouTube comments and hitting the subscribe button while you're there. But get to the comments, let us know who you want to see on the podcast next, and just in general, join the conversation. Love hanging out. Get in the Discord. The link is in both the Spotify and the YouTube description. That's enough.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. Yeah, what he said. Do it.
Yeah, do all that stuff. LiefX is cool, so shout out to him. Let's go.
Let's go. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.